Hello guys, welcome back to the next tutorial in the series. So today we're gonna discuss, continue the log4j stuff, and today we're actually gonna see how we use that in our test cases. So there are two ways that I'm gonna go through both the ways, how we can use, and let's actually take a look at the test case that we've been developing in the previous tutorials, that how we can utilize log4j to use in the test case. So let's go through. What I've done is I've just initialized the log instance using static logger and in the class. Okay, so let me explain from the beginning. So I've created the using log4j.java class. This is basically the test case JUnit class. I have created the WebDriver, base URL, and then created the log4j instance here. All right, then we have a before method, similar driver, Firefox driver instance, base URL, maximize the window and timeout. Then after the before method, we basically have the test case. So in our test case, driver.get base URL. So if you guys remember, we have the search page APIs created, right? So we are using search page dot navigate to flights tab, providing the driver, search page dot fill in origin text box, those things. So then we are entering the destination text box with Chicago, then we are entering the departure date, and then finally we are entering the return date. So we're not clicking on the search button because we just want to see how it works. You guys, if you really want to do, you can click on the search button, go to the next page as well. So here I have these line of codes commented, right? So once I have created the instance, what I need to do is I need to use the property configurator class to configure the properties, right? So we already have log4j.properties file, right? This we're gonna use. In this I've commented out all the file appender, and here I'm only using console appender. So for demo purpose only, I'm gonna show it that the logs are gonna be printed on the console, but as this file also have the file appender available, and you already have this properties file from the previous tutorial, you can just use that file, and if you wanna run it on file, then you can just redirect your logs to the file using the above code. It's already there. So currently it's gonna output everything to console because we just demoed right now. So coming back to the class, let's start that. So I'm gonna put the configurator in the before method because before the test we wanna initialize it. So if you guys have multiple test methods in the class, right? So what you can do is instead of before method, you can put the configurator in @ before class. So it'll only initialize once in that test suite, in that class. So basically it'll be applicable for all the test methods. So right now I'm just doing in property configurator dot configure and just the log4j dot properties file. So we have initialized the properties here. Let's minimize this code, and now let's uncomment these lines. So what we are doing is we are just logging that navigate to flights tab, enter origin city and destination city and departure and return date. So let's run this code and let's see what happens, and then we'll see the other way. So it's running the code, and Firefox browser is coming up. It's right there. And I'm gonna open the Eclipse and the console right now to show you guys what's happening. So right now it's just loading, so we're not mainly concerned about the UI part right now. So as you guys see, this is the log, right? So it shows you the date, the kind of log, the type, log level is info, from which class it's coming, and what action has happened, right? Navigate to flights tab, enter origin city, enter destination city, departure date and return date. So if any of the step throws an error, you will not see that step and there will be an exception. So at that point we can debug after seeing the logs that exception happened on that particular step. So we don't have to later in the state, right? Let's say we are just looking at the log, so we don't need to see okay where the code failed. So we can just see okay the log is showing you that it failed at a particular step when it was maybe entering the departure date. At that time it failed, so there is some issue around that element, and we can debug it and then we can fix the issue. So for that reason we have the logging, right? So let me show you a better way. This way we're not liking the code, right? There are too many log statements in the test case, right? So let me comment all these out. I really don't want these. So I'll show you what happened in the GUI. So in GUI everything is entered, right? New York, Chicago, and the dates, right? So everything is entered. Let's close the user interface at this point, and I'll go to search page, and I'll have the logger initiated here as well in the search page. So here I'm putting the logger. I'll just change the class name here. So search page dot class. Cool. And after this, let's just log this statement. So for origin text box, let's say log.info, and maybe just copy it from here. So enter origin city, or maybe you know what, this is actually just the, so we are just finding the element in this method, right? So let's put some other statement. So origin text box element found. So this is also a logging, right? So fill in origin text box. Here we can say log.info and enter origin city as, so we can provide the origin city also, right? Because in this method we have the origin city passed into the method, right? Similarly, what we can do is we can log these messages for other methods also. So I'll show you like couple more, and then you guys can fill the rest of the methods for your practice. So maybe this you can take as your assignment. So destination text box element found, and maybe at this. So I'll leave the departure date and the return date for you guys, so you can just fill it. And maybe I'll just give you one more assignment. So the way we have created the method for origin text box, fill the origin text box, right? That's the thing that we are doing in that, right? We are just using the fill origin text box. But for destination, we are just finding the destination text box and then using the send keys method, right? So instead I'll say, guys, just go ahead and create these sort of methods for destination and departure dates also. So use these methods to find the element the way we are doing here, and then use the send keys in the methods inside the page class, right? Not the test class. So let's run this right now. So let me clear the console and let me again run this code. So these things are commented, so nothing's gonna be logged from this page. So now let's see. I'm running the code. Firefox opened up. Yeah, let's this is coming up here. So when it starts typing, we can just go back to our console, right? So see here, the date and info is there. Now it's coming from page.classes.search page. So now it's not coming from the using log4j, right? Now it's coming from the search page. Origin element text box found, cool. Enter origin city as New York. So it's giving you the string that you've passed into that method also. Destination text box element found. That's the only thing that will be logged in this one. Rest is up to you. Take it as your assignment for departure and return date also, and create the methods for destination city also. So guys, that's how we use the logs, and it's pretty helpful for debugging. One more thing that I can show you is, so when let's say this is showing the complete package and search page the class, right? So you know what, let me, if I just modify this file, and here I say after C is for the class, right? If I say 1, so it's only gonna take the last uh, portion of the full name, so after the dot. So if I run it now, let me clear the console. If I run it now, it's only gonna show the class name. Coming up, loading expedia.com, clicking on the flights tab. So see, so this time it is only showing you search page, right? Not the complete uh, package name showed up. So these are the tweaks that you can do in your properties file. You can look at more at Java patterns, like pattern layout in Java doc, to get more familiar with that, and that's pretty helpful. So I think this summarizes our logging infrastructure. It's going to be very helpful for you guys, trust me. It's like really helpful when you run your code in production, and you have to debug a lot of things. So we'll wrap up this thing here, and we'll have a new topic in the next class, guys. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Thanks.